Have you ever wondered how your constant scrolling through social media might be affecting your brain? It's a question worth pondering as we find ourselves in an era where social media has become an inextricable part of our daily lives. In the blink of an eye, we've become a society where a day without a glance at Instagram, a quick tweet, or a Facebook update feels incomplete. Social media has become a staple in our routine, a habit as common as brushing our teeth or having a cup of coffee in the morning. But have we ever stopped to consider the impact of this habit? Is our brain equipped to handle this onslaught of information, images, and interactions? Let's delve into this. You see, our brains are not designed to be constantly stimulated. They need downtime to process and integrate information. The constant influx of data from social media can overload our brains, leading to stress and fatigue. This could be likened to burning neurons, a metaphor that captures the potential harm caused by excessive social media use. Moreover, the brain's reward system is also affected by social media. Every like, comment, share, or follower triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure. This creates a cycle of reward and reinforcement, driving us to spend more time on social media in search of that dopamine hit. Over time, this can lead to dependency, mirroring patterns seen in addiction. And it's not just about the quantity of time spent on social media. The quality of our interactions matters too. Our brains are wired for face-to-face communication, where we can pick up on subtle cues like tone of voice and body language. Social media, with its often impersonal and one-dimensional communication, can deprive us of these rich, human interactions. So, if social media is burning our neurons, what can we do about it? When we say social media is burning our neurons, what exactly does that mean? To understand this, let's first take a quick dive into the human brain. You see, our brain is a complex network of neurons, these tiny cells that communicate with each other to process information and direct our actions. Imagine these neurons as little messengers running around in your brain, delivering important information from one area to another. Now, when we engage in activities that require focus and deep thinking, these neurons fire up, creating new connections and strengthening our cognitive abilities. However, when we immerse ourselves in the fast-paced world of social media, we often engage in a shallow form of thinking. Instead of focusing on one task, our attention is scattered across multiple posts, tweets, and status updates. This constant switching of attention can exhaust our neurons, leading to what we call neuronal burnout. Research has shown that heavy social media use can have a negative impact on our cognitive function. For instance, a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that individuals who use social media excessively showed decreased memory function and attention span. Moreover, the constant bombardment of information from social media can also take a toll on our mental health. The need for instant gratification, the comparison with others, the fear of missing out. All these factors can lead to increased stress and anxiety. A report published in the journal Psychiatry Research showed that heavy social media users were more likely to report poor mental health, including symptoms of anxiety and depression. But wait, it's not all doom and gloom. Understanding the problem is the first step towards finding a solution. We're not saying you need to quit social media cold turkey. After all, it has become an integral part of our lives, connecting us with friends, family, and the world at large. Clearly, our brains are not benefiting from too much social media, but how can we change our habits? Stay tuned as we explore this in the next segment. Breaking free from social media's grip might seem daunting, but it's doable and the benefits are immense. So how can we start to loosen this grip? Well, the first step is to recognize the problem. Once you've identified that excessive social media usage is an issue, you're already on the path to recovery. Now let's dive into some practical strategies. Firstly, setting boundaries is crucial. Start by designating specific times for scrolling and posting. This could be a couple of times a day for a set duration, say 30 minutes in the morning and another 30 in the evening. By doing this, you're creating a structure that can help control your usage. Secondly, turn off those pesky notifications. Bombarding yourself with constant reminders to check your feeds only fuels the addiction. Instead, opt for a more peaceful digital environment. You'll be surprised at how liberating it feels not to be at the mercy of every ping and buzz. Next, consider a social media detox. This doesn't have to be a drastic cold turkey approach. Instead, try a day, then 2 days, then perhaps a week without social media. You'll start to notice the benefits. More time, less anxiety, and a sense of freedom. But what do you do with this newfound time? That brings us to our next point, finding alternative activities. This could be anything from reading a book, picking up a new hobby, or spending more time in nature. The idea is to fill your time with activities that enrich your life rather than draining it. Now, it's important to remember that it's okay to stumble. We're human after all. If you find yourself struggling, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, reflect on what triggered your excessive usage and try to address it. At times, the pull of social media can be too strong to resist on your own. If this is the case, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors are equipped with tools and strategies to help you navigate through this digital maze. And finally, be patient. Changing habits, especially those deeply ingrained, takes time. Celebrate your small wins and remember that progress is progress, no matter how slow. Before we wrap up, it's crucial to note that this isn't about demonizing social media. It's a tool, and like any tool, it's all about how you use it. Remember, reducing your social media usage doesn't mean you have to cut it out completely. It's all about finding a balance that works for you. Let's revisit what we've learned about the impact of social media on our brains and how to combat it. Our journey began with understanding the profound influence social media has on our brains. We learned that these platforms, designed to connect us, can sometimes create a whirlwind of information and stimulation that our brains weren't naturally equipped to handle. This constant barrage of updates, likes, and shares can lead to an overload, causing our neurons to burn out. It's like running a marathon without any training. Our brains simply aren't built for it. Next, we delved into the problem at hand, the burning of our neurons due to excessive social media use. The human brain is a complex machine, and like any machine, it needs time to rest and recuperate. The constant stream of digital information we consume on social media doesn't allow for this. It's like trying to fill a cup that's already overflowing. The result? Our poor neurons get burned out, leading to issues like decreased focus, memory problems, and even anxiety. But it's not all doom and gloom. We then explored the solution: how to stop using social media, or at least how to use it more mindfully. We discovered that the first step is awareness. Knowing what's happening to our brains helps us make more informed decisions about our social media use. Then, there's the power of digital detoxes, where we intentionally step away from our devices to give our brains a much-needed break. And let's not forget about setting boundaries like limiting our screen time and turning off unnecessary notifications. These strategies aren't just about reducing our social media use, but also about creating a healthier relationship with our digital world. So, the next time you pick up your phone to check social media, think about your neurons and consider giving them a break. It's not about quitting cold turkey, but about finding balance. Because at the end of the day, our brains are worth protecting, and a little break can go a long way in ensuring their health and well-being. At the end of the day, remember, it's your brain, your health, and your life. It's not just about signing off from your apps or muting notifications, it's about taking control, prioritizing your well-being over those infinite scrolls and endless feeds. It's about realizing that every tap on the screen, every minute spent scrolling, is a minute of your life you're not getting back. It's easy to forget that you're the one in the driver's seat. You are the master of your life, the captain of your ship, and the architect of your destiny. You decide where to invest your time and energy. Let it be in something that nourishes you, something that fuels your growth, not something that depletes your mental resources. Take that first step. Log off, unplug, detox. Spend some time with yourself, with nature, with a good book. Rediscover the joy of being present, of being mindful. You have the power to protect your neurons from social media burnout. Start today and see the difference it makes.